Most people believe success comes from a single powerful moment. They imagine one decision, one opportunity, one lucky break that changes everything. They believe growth happens fast, in public, and with great excitement. That belief sounds comforting. It suggests that if you wait long enough, something outside you will arrive and fix everything. But that belief is wrong. Not partly wrong. Completely wrong. Success is not built in moments of excitement. It is built in moments of discipline. Personal growth does not arrive suddenly. It is earned slowly, quietly, often without applause. And this misunderstanding is why so many people feel frustrated. They are waiting for a feeling when they should be building a habit. They are waiting for motivation when they should be practicing self-discipline. You do not rise to the level of your dreams. You fall to the level of your daily standards. Ask yourself this. If success really came from one big moment, why do so many talented people struggle for years? Why do so many motivated people quit early? The answer is simple. Motivation comes and goes. Discipline stays. Personal growth is not an event. It is a process, and every meaningful process demands structure, patience, and self-control. Think about what you cannot see when you observe a successful life. You see the confidence. You see the calm. You see the results, but you do not see the early mornings. You do not see the evenings when comfort was available but discipline was chosen instead. Growth works like the roots of a tree, underground, silent, unnoticed. For a long time it appears as if nothing is happening. Then one day the tree stands tall and people call it strong. But the strength was built long before it was visible. Self-discipline is the root system of personal growth. Without it, nothing stands for long. With it, even slow progress becomes powerful. Many people quit because they expect visible results too early. They plant a seed and dig it up every week to see if it is growing. Growth does not respond to impatience. It responds to consistency. When you practice discipline, you are investing in outcomes you cannot yet see. That is why discipline feels uncomfortable. You are working without immediate proof. You are trusting a process instead of chasing a reward. There is a simple law that governs progress in every area of life. Preparation meeting opportunity determines outcome. Opportunity alone is never enough. Many people meet opportunity unprepared and they call it bad luck. But luck is rarely the issue. Readiness is. When opportunity arrives, it does not ask if you feel confident. It does not ask if you are motivated. It only reveals what you have been practicing. Self-discipline is preparation in motion. It is the quiet training that turns potential into performance. Personal growth is not about waiting to feel ready. It is about acting in ways that make you ready. One day, an opportunity will arrive that tests your habits. In that moment, you will not rise to your hopes. You will reveal your discipline. Ask yourself this. If the opportunity you want showed up tomorrow, would your daily behavior support it? Or would it expose gaps you have been avoiding? Discipline closes those gaps before they cost you. Pressure has a way of revealing patterns. When life becomes demanding, your true habits show up. Not your intentions, not your plans, your patterns. Consider a professional who performs well when things are calm, but collapses under pressure. That is not a talent issue. It is a discipline issue. Their systems were not strong enough to carry them when stress increased. Or think of someone trying to improve their health. When life is easy, they eat well and exercise. When life becomes stressful, those habits disappear. Pressure did not create the weakness. It revealed it. Discipline is what remains when pressure removes your excuses. Growth requires pressure because pressure tests what is real. It shows you where your structure is weak. Instead of fearing pressure, learn from it. Pressure is feedback. It tells you where discipline must be strengthened. In another example, look at someone building a skill over time. When progress feels slow, many people distract themselves. They switch goals. They look for shortcuts. They consume instead of practice. Under pressure, they escape. The disciplined person does the opposite. They reduce distraction. They simplify. They return to fundamentals. Pressure does not push them away from the work. It pulls them deeper into it. That difference determines growth, not talent, not intelligence, discipline under pressure. Your focus is one of your most valuable assets, and like anything valuable, it must be protected. Distraction is not harmless. It is expensive. Every distraction steals time, energy, and clarity. Focus is not about doing more things. It is about doing fewer things well. Self-discipline gives direction to your attention. Without it, your mind reacts to whatever is loudest. With it, your mind responds to what matters most. Ask yourself how often you protect your focus the way you protect your money. You would not leave your wallet unattended in a crowded place. Yet many people leave their attention unguarded all day. Growth demands focused effort. Shallow attention produces shallow results. Discipline is the ability to say no, not just to others but to yourself. No to unnecessary noise. No to constant stimulation. No to habits that drain your future for the comfort of the moment. Personal growth follows a simple sequence. First, you learn. You seek understanding, not to impress but to improve. Then you apply. Knowledge without application is entertainment. Application turns information into experience. After applying, you evaluate. You look honestly at results, not emotionally, not defensively, honestly. Then you correct. You adjust behavior based on what you learned. Finally, you persist. You repeat the process long enough for improvement to take root. Many people stop too early. They learn but never apply, or they apply briefly but never evaluate, or they evaluate but refuse to correct. Discipline connects all stages. It keeps the cycle moving. Growth is not about doing something once. It is about doing the right things repeatedly, even when progress feels slow. Motivation is a feeling. Discipline is a decision. Feelings are unreliable. They change with sleep, weather, mood, and circumstance. Systems do not care how you feel. Systems operate regardless. That is why discipline must come before motivation, not after. Waiting to feel motivated is a delay tactic. Acting with discipline often creates motivation, not the other way around. When you build systems that support growth, you remove decision fatigue. You reduce reliance on willpower. You make progress automatic. Ask yourself this: do your daily systems make growth easier or harder? Discipline is not about punishment. It is about alignment. Aligning your actions with your values. Aligning your time with your goals. When your systems are aligned, progress becomes predictable. Growth also requires patience, not passive patience. Strategic patience. Like seasons, growth has phases. There is a season of planting, a season of waiting, a season of harvesting. Many people quit in the waiting season. They confuse silence with failure. They confuse slow progress with no progress. Discipline allows you to remain consistent through quiet periods. It reminds you that time is not the enemy. Misuse of time is. One day of discipline may not feel significant, but repeated over months and years, it becomes transformative. Personal growth rewards those who can delay gratification, those who can invest effort now for benefits later. Ask yourself where impatience has cost you progress, and ask yourself what discipline could restore. Feedback is essential for refinement. Without measurement, discipline can become stubbornness. You must track results, not to judge yourself but to guide yourself. Correction is not failure, it is progress. When you adjust based on feedback, you accelerate growth. The disciplined person welcomes feedback because it shortens the path forward. They do not personalize correction. They use it. Every adjustment improves alignment between effort and outcome. Growth is a conversation between intention and result. Discipline keeps you listening. Momentum builds quietly. Like a flywheel, progress starts slow, heavy, resistant. But each disciplined action adds energy. Over time, movement becomes easier. Consistency creates momentum. Momentum creates confidence. Confidence reinforces discipline. This compounding effect is powerful. One disciplined day makes the next slightly easier. One focused week improves the next. 1 year of consistency can change your identity. You stop trying to be disciplined. You become disciplined. Growth shifts from effort to expression. That is the turning point many people never reach because they quit too early. Breakthrough is not a single event. It is a lifestyle. It is what happens when discipline becomes normal, when growth becomes expected, when improvement is no longer dramatic but dependable. You wake up with clarity. You act with intention. You respond instead of react. This is not a loud life. It is a strong one. Personal growth is not about becoming someone else. It is about becoming fully aligned with your potential. And that alignment is built through discipline, practiced daily, refined over time. You do not need more motivation. You need clearer standards. You do not need a new plan. You need consistent execution. One day, you will look back and realize that the quiet choices mattered most. The mornings when you showed up. The evenings when you stayed focused. The moments when you acted without applause. That is the principle of self-discipline and personal growth, and it works whether you believe in it or not. The question is simple. Will you practice it long enough to let it change you? And as you continue forward, remember this. Discipline is not about restricting your life. It is about expanding it. It gives you options. It gives you strength. It gives you control over your direction. Without discipline, life decides for you. With discipline, you decide for yourself. Growth begins the moment you accept that responsibility, and it continues every day you honor it, especially when no one is watching, especially when results are slow, especially when comfort is close. Because in those moments, you are not just building progress, you are building character, and character once formed supports every other success you pursue. And character once formed supports every other success you pursue. It shapes how you respond to difficulty. It determines how you handle responsibility. It decides whether you grow stronger or smaller when challenges appear. Character is not built in comfort. It is built in repetition, in choosing what is right over what is easy, again and again. One day at a time, ask yourself this. Who are you becoming through your daily habits? Not through your intentions, but through your actions. Because every habit is a vote for the type of person you are becoming. Every disciplined choice strengthens one identity. Every undisciplined choice strengthens another. Not overnight, gradually, quietly, but inevitably. Personal growth is not about dramatic change. It is about directional change. Small adjustments made consistently create a different destination over time. Many people want confidence without discipline. They want self-belief without self-control. But confidence is not built by telling yourself positive thoughts. It is built by keeping promises to yourself. Every time you do what you said you would do, even when you do not feel like it, trust grows. That trust becomes confidence, not loud confidence, quiet confidence, the kind that does not need validation, the kind that remains steady under pressure. Discipline earns that confidence. Nothing else does. You may wonder why discipline feels heavy at first. It is because you are carrying resistance. Resistance from old habits, old patterns, old excuses, but resistance weakens with use. Just like a muscle strengthens through training, discipline strengthens through practice. What feels difficult today becomes normal tomorrow. What feels normal tomorrow becomes automatic later. Growth always follows this path, first uncomfortable, then manageable, then natural. Consider how you approach your time. Time is neutral. It does not help or harm you. It only reveals your priorities. Discipline is how you give direction to time. Without discipline, time slips away unnoticed. With discipline, time becomes a tool. You do not need more time. You need better use of the time you already have. Growth comes from intentional use of ordinary days, not from rare, extraordinary moments. There will be days when progress feels invisible, when effort feels wasted, when results feel distant. These are not signs to stop. They are signs to continue. Every meaningful pursuit includes periods where faith is required before evidence appears. Discipline carries you through those periods. It bridges the gap between effort and outcome. Without it, most people quit just before progress accelerates. Do not confuse rest with quitting. Rest is strategic. Quitting is emotional. Discipline allows rest without abandonment. It allows recovery without retreat. Growth requires balance, but balance does not mean inconsistency. It means sustainability. You do not grow by pushing endlessly. You grow by pacing wisely. Discipline teaches you when to press forward and when to pause without losing direction. You will encounter setbacks. That is certain. Progress is rarely linear. Discipline is not about avoiding setbacks. It is about responding correctly to them. When something does not work, you do not abandon the process. You adjust the approach. When you fall short, you do not attack yourself. You recommit. Correction is part of growth. Persistence is the proof of discipline. Look closely at your environment. Environment shapes behavior more than intention does. Discipline includes designing your surroundings to support growth. Remove unnecessary temptations. Reduce friction for good habits. Make the right choice easier. This is not weakness. It is wisdom. You do not rely on constant willpower. You build structures that guide behavior automatically. As momentum builds, something important happens. You begin to trust yourself. Decisions become clearer. Doubt loses its grip. Not because life becomes easier, but because you become stronger. Growth changes how you interpret difficulty. What once felt overwhelming now feels manageable. What once stopped you now teaches you. This shift is subtle but powerful. Eventually, discipline stops feeling like effort and starts feeling like identity. You are no longer trying to be consistent. You are consistent. You are no longer forcing growth. You expect it. This is where personal growth becomes sustainable. It is no longer dependent on mood or circumstance. It is anchored in who you have become. This is the breakthrough most people misunderstand. It is not a dramatic external event. It is an internal shift, a quiet confidence, a steady pace, a deep trust in the process. When discipline becomes part of your identity, growth becomes your baseline. Improvement becomes your default. You are no longer chasing change. You are living it. Remember this. Discipline is not something you lose when life gets hard. It is something you use because life gets hard. It is your anchor, your structure, your advantage. Personal growth is available to anyone willing to practice discipline long enough. Not perfectly, consistently. One day, you will realize that the person you worked so hard to become now feels natural. That the habits you once resisted now feel necessary. That the discipline you once avoided now feels like freedom. Because it is. Discipline frees you from regret. It frees you from chaos. It frees you from the limits of inconsistency. So return to your standards, clarify them, raise them carefully. Then honor them daily. Not with intensity, but with consistency. Not with pressure, but with purpose. Growth does not require you to be extraordinary. It requires you to be disciplined. And discipline practiced daily makes ordinary effort produce extraordinary results. This is the principle, simple, demanding, unavoidable. Self-discipline is the foundation. Personal growth is the reward. And the path between them is walked one choice at a time.